So we have this drawing for the septic tank. In order to draw this septic tank, I think that such a video is already uploaded for this type. Yeah. So first and foremost thing is that which unit that we will use, inches and feet. So select the units. I will write units over here, decimal. In spite of decimal, I will consider architecture. And then precision is considered as feet and inches. Architecture, feet and inches, and say okay. So we can start this drawing from the base. What is the size of a base? Size of a base is that the length of this foundation is 10 feet 9 inch. And then what is the height? 6 inches. So let's draw this. Consider one line. Click over here. And ortho is off. So how many sizes is there? 10 feet. 10. I will write 10. And in nearby the on the left hand side of your enter key, there is a dash sign. 10 single dash means 10 feet. And then I will write 9 and shift by pressing shift and a single dash. I have 2 dashes. So 10 feet in 9 inches. When I press enter, a single line is generated. This has a size of 10 feet and 9 inches. And upward we have 6 inches. I will write 6 inches. And towards the left, 10 feet 9 inches, and C for the close. So this is the base that I have created. Let me increase the size of this drawing. So did we created the base? What was the size of the base? 10 feet 9 inch. Then what's the next we have to create? We have to consider, we have to create the wall. These walls. What is the thickness for these walls? Thickness of these two walls is 9 inch. The outer wall has a thickness of 9 inch. Here it is written. So it is not necessary that within one view we should add all the dimensions. The external wall is 9 inches. And from where 9 inches? Now here we consider that we have a gap of 6 inches from both sides. From the base we have a space of 6 inches on both sides, and then we draw the two lines. What is the height of this wall? Height of this wall is 6 feet and 6 inches. Height of this wall is 6 feet and 6 inches. 9 inch the thickness, and the gap is 6 inches. So let's move to the AutoCAD. So we start our line. We have to move towards the right. I will write 6 inches. Then move upward. What is the dimension? Height 6 feet 6 inches. 6 feet 6 inches. And towards the right, what is the thickness of the wall? 9 inches. 9 inches. And move downward. Just to click the cross. See the perpendicular. So So one wall is created. Similarly, we have to create another wall. Line command, click on the corner, move towards the left 6 inches, the gap, then upward is 6 feet 6 inches, towards the left 9 inches the wall thickness, 9 inches, and perpendicular bottom we strike over here. So the two walls we have created. Okay, let's check the other dimensions. After creating the two walls and the base, let's say that create the cover, uh, full cover, not a main whole cover, or the roof for this room. So if you look into the two dimensions, the from bottom to the wall, top of a wall, it is 6 feet and 6 inch, and up to the roof, the dimension is 6 feet and 11 inch. What is the difference between these two? So 5 inch is the thickness for the roof. RCC material is to be constructed. So let's create the roof. I will click the line, click on the corner, move upward, say 5 inches, press enter, move towards the left, till to the end over here, click over here, second click, and click up to the last. So we have created the roof. Now, how we create the inside walls? Now, one thing that we have to keep in mind, the thickness of inside wall is only 6 inches. Thickness of inside wall is only 6 inches. But what will be the location? What is the gap between the outer wall and inner baffle walls? Is the dimension is given? Yes, the dimension is given, but definitely dimension is not given in the one view. Dimension is given in the top view. This is the top view for the same drawing. So all the three dimensions are 2 feet 6 inches, 2 feet 6 inches, 2 feet 6 inches, and the wall thickness is 4.5 inch, 1.5 inch. I think that we have to change the accuracy, precision to a half inch. Consider units. And precision may consider half inch. Okay. Now at the distance of 2 feet and 6 inches, we have to create the wall. So from here, I click over here, click on the corner. At the distance of 2 feet and 6 inches, we will create a one wall. What is the height of that wall? The height of this wall is 4 feet and 9 inches. So upward 4 feet and 9 inches. And what is the thickness of wall? 4.5 inch. Sorry, 4.5 inch is the dimension. 4 inches. You can directly write that 4.5 inches. Even then, you can have a visual, same values. Similarly, we have to draw another wall. This wall is from the height लाइन खे हिते क्लिक कयो, हेठि आयुसि, मां हाणे चाहियां थो 9 इंच जो गेप रखां, एक्ज़ैक्टली डायमेंशन ॾिनल आहिनि, त तव्हां 6 इंच बि रखी सघो था, 9 इंच बि रखी सघो था, कुझु डायमेंशन ॾिनल आहिनि। हाणे अप्रोक्सीमेटली तव्हां उहे पंहिंजी तरफ़ां ॾेई छॾियो, पाइप विझणो आहे जेको टैंक में अंदरि अचे, हाणे बिल्कुलु सफ़ा त मथां न हूंदो, एतिरो ॾींदासीं त नुक़सानु थींदो, 6 इंच जो गैप मिनिमम आहे, त मां कहिड़ो बि डिस्टेंस रखी सघां, मिसाल तौरु मां हीअं रखियो 9 इंच, तव्हांखे 6 इंच सम्झो त तव्हां 6 इंच रखियो। राइट नाउ आई एम इंटरेस्टेड फॉर 9 इंचिस, 9 इंचिस, ठीकु आहे। हाणे हितां केतिरी डिस्टेंस जी डायमेंशन आहे, पाइप जी डायमेंशन मिलियल न आहे, मिलियल हुजे त असां एक्ज़ैक्टली उहा रखंदासीं, अप्रोक्सीमेटली का बि डायमेंशन आहे मां त रखी छॾी। पाइप जो जेको डायमीटर आहे तक़रीबन 4 इंच, तो 4 इंच जो पाइप आहे त 4 इंच जो डायमीटर थी वियो। लेफ्ट साइड ते मां खणी वियुमि, केतिरो डायमेंशन खणी वञासि, थोरो रुगो एक्सटेंड क्लिक करे वरी मथे आयुसि, वरी 4 इंच साॻियो डायमीटर पाइप जो, ऐं हिन खे मिलाए छॾियो, जॾहिं हीअ ठही वञे त अहिड़ो मूंखे वरी ॿियो पाइप लाइन ठाहिणी आहे अपोज़िट साइड ते, त पहिरीं ॻाल्हि इहा त मां हिन खे साॻी कॉपी छो न करे सघां, पहिरीं मां हिन खे कॉपी कयो, कॉपी करे हिन जे कॉर्नर तां खणी हेठे कॉर्नर ते थो रखां, इहो इन लाइ थो रखां जो तव्हां हीअ अगरि सेक्शन ॾिसंदो न, हीअ पाइप मथे आहे, हिन पाइप जो लोकेशन हेठि आहे, थोरो हेठि करे लॻा, हाणे मां हेठि केतिरो कयो, 4 इंच हेठि करे, ठीकु आहे न, हीअ पाइप मथे आहे, हीअ पाइप हेठि आहे, हाणे जस्ट मूंखे हिनखे मूव कराइणो, select this whole section or 4 lines, use a move tool, मूव करे असां हिते खणी अचूंसि, ठीकु आहे, मूव थी हलियो। हाणे हिन जो विच वारी लाइनूं ट्रिम करणी पवंदियूं, यूज़ अ ट्रिम टूल, ई ॿ लाइन्स नयूं, ठीकु आहे। Now we have to create the cover. For the cover, the dimension is, the opening should be 1 feet and 6 inch, and the appropriate walls can be constructed. The location is exactly not defined. You can select an appropriate location. Yes, select the location from here. 6 inches. Six inches. 4.5 inch. Then I select this all, make a copy at the distance of 1 feet, 6, 10, 10.5 inch. All the exact dimensions are not exactly given, so I'm using some approximations. So approximate dimensions are to be taken. 3.5 inch. So the cover has been created. Then we have to create the top view. In order to create the top view, now you can see that the width is given to you already. The length of the already given. Whereas the width is 7 feet and 3 inches. Overall width is 7 feet and 3 inches. So we select a line, click on the first line, move up to this last. Then overall dimension is 7 feet and 6 inches. Towards the left, press the last point, use the Control C. So the base is created. Now I can join this base, and the inner wall is to be created by considering offset is 6 inches. From all the sides, offset is 6 inches. So consider the offset. Distance is 6 inches offset. Select this object and inside. And then outer wall thickness is 9 inches. So I again select the offset. This time the offset distance is 9 inches. So click it inside. So both the walls are created. And now we have to create the dimension for the wall. For the dimension of a wall at the distance of, I can use the construction lines. This is the construction line. I can use the construction line. First construction line, another construction line. So once we have created the two construction lines, this represents the wall. Similarly, the construction lines can be created for these two. Now we have to remove the extra section. How we can remove? Just click on the trim tool, select all of them. We want to remain only the inner portions. I'm deleting these all and these all. And also creating the upper sections for the construction line and the lower section for the construction line. And also we have to consider the trimming for these sections also. Trim. These are merged walls. So if you look at that, this whole opening is created. Now we just have to mention the three hidden lines. One for the main hole. Two hidden lines have to be created. One for the main hole and two for the pipes. Here only one pipe line has been shown. So let's create the opening. One opening is from the wall. You consider the center. I have selected the center. From the center, the distance is 9 inches upward. And the 9 inches lower. So 9 and 9, 18 inches. This will be the opening. These two lines are to be converted into the hidden lines. Right now I'm just changing its color. Similarly, we have to create two another lines for the wall. So consider the offset. The pipe diameter was 4 inches. So 2 inches will be the offset distance. I will set the offset distance as 2 inches and consider 2 inch upward, 2 inch lower, and delete the midsection line. These two lines represents the pipe and are to be converted into the hidden lines. Let me copy that. From the top, both are visible as same. So now we have three hidden lines over here. These two represents the hidden line for the inlet pipe. These two represents the inlet for the exit pipe, and these two represent the opening of the window for the cross section. So the top view is completed. Let's convert the tank into the 3D. How we can construct such a tank in a 3D from the top view? Just locate the section to AC isometric. Now here you can see that the outer section is the baseline. We can use the 3D tools. Let's change the 3D tools to 3D basics. Now let's consider the extrude tool. Click on the extrude, click the outer section, press enter, and what is the depth of the basement? 6 inches, right? 6 inches. Basement is given. So let's change the view to the shaded edge of gray. So I have created the base for the tank. Now we have to construct the walls. For the walls, what will be the suitable tool for constructing the wall? Press pull. If I click on the press pull, click this section. What is the height of a wall that we have to create? First, we have to create the height of a wall as 6 inches. 6 inches. Then we have to create a wall as another 6 feet. The total wall is created. Now the inner section is to be considered, this section. This section is to be considered how much height. If you don't know the height, we can take it from the top view. We can use a measure tool. Did we use a measure tool before? So go to the annotation and drafting. Here there is a utilities are available. Can you see this tool? Utilities. In this utility, there is a one tool measure. There is other tools are there in a measurement. We can measure the distance, we can measure the radius, angle, area or volume. Right now we are going to measure the distance. Now I want to measure the distance from this section to that section. So 5 feet and 1 inch. Distance is 5 feet and 1 inch. I can move to the AC isometric and say that press pull. Let's go to the 3D tools. I click on the press pull. Select over here, move upward 5 feet and 1 inch. And here I have to consider the pipe. Then we can construct another section like from the line command. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again the press pull. This section. we need to select the polyline. Polyline, first line, second, third, fourth, and close. Now I select this whole object. Consider the press pull and move downward as how many inches from the top? Let's inquire. From the top, the total distance measure distance from here to here is 1 feet and 1 inch. Let's move to the 3D basics. SC isometric view. So if the errors are disturbed, you can press on the word uses. By clicking on the word uses tool, this orientation becomes set as per the origin. Word uses. So select on the press pull. Select the object. Move downward as 1 feet, 1 inch. So the objects are created. We can add them by considering the union. If I have to create the roof for this section, how I can create? I can use a box tool. Consider the first corner and the opposite corner. After considering both of them, what is the height for the roof? 5 inches. 5 inches. The roof is also created. If I have to create the main hole diameter is circular. The internal and external dimensions are in a circular. So from polygon here we select the circular tool. I will draw the two circles. One circle for 1 feet. Another circle by considering the same center. Okay. Now we can have a press pull. Press this first section, and at the distance of 4 inches, this is the height of the collar. And now we can create a cylinder in order to have a main hole cover. $3. The main hole cover is given. Let's change the color for this section. Quick properties. I change the color for the cover as red. And from the views, I will change the realistic. So roof color, I consider the roof color as yellow. And the body color, let's make it green. So now the tank is created. I can add the pipe over here. At this section, consider the circular pipe. So let's draw one diagonal line from this end to this end. I have created a diagonal line. The center of our line will be considered as a circle. The diameter is 4 inches. So specify the radius. Radius is 2 inches. You can shift it on the mid section. Now we can use a press pull. So this is the pipe opening.